Welcome to Mat Yoga. I'm happy to do a little bit of yoga with you today. To start with, you might like to put it underneath your hips just to lift the hips a little. You could sit on a pillow if you've, or a towel or whatever might just help you sit up a little bit taller. Makes it a little easier for the spine to be tall and not quite so much effort there. You can let the shoulders roll back. Maybe let them roll forward. Then maybe wiggle the head around a little bit. And then just lengthen up through the crown of the head. You could let the hands rest on your legs with the palms facing down or facing up, or even your hands stacked one inside the other. And just let your eyes fall shut. If it's not comfortable to close your eyes, you could gaze down your nose, down toward the floor. And take a nice deep breath in. And a deep exhale. Take a deep breath in. And a deep exhale. And just take a moment to go inside, noticing how it is that you feel this morning, this afternoon, whatever time you might be doing the class. What's your internal weather system like? What are you feeling physically? What do you feel emotionally or mentally? And just like you would check outside, out the window, or even walk outside to see what the weather's like, see if you can do that with yourself right now. Noticing if the stories come in, the judgment, the explanation. See if you can instead just note what you're experiencing. I'm taking a moment to scan down from the top of the head all the way through the body. Notice how you feel. Is there anything calling for attention that maybe you could breathe into and use the exhale to help release some of the tension? And maybe today you'd like to dedicate your practice to someone, to yourself, to someone else, a group of people, humans in general. Maybe you'd like to set a dedication. And maybe with that dedication, there's a word or a phrase that comes along with it. I'm confident. I am peace. I am love. Any word or phrase that's coming to you that would support your practice, you could use that to guide this practice, this time to connect with yourself. And draw your attention to your breath, allowing the belly to expand on the inhale. And as you exhale, letting all that breath go. Inhaling, expanding the belly. Exhale, letting that breath go. One more like that. Inhale, expand the belly. Exhale, let go. We'll make our way onto all fours on your mat with the hands underneath the shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Take an inhale, lift your chin up and your tailbone up. Now on the exhale, round through the spine. Notice your hands. Make sure you've spread the fingers out wide and that you're using the hands to help, not just sitting in the wrist. Exhale, round. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, round. Inhale, up. Exhale, round. Pausing back in the center, pull in through the belly button. Extend your right arm forward, pulling in through the stomach, extend your left leg back. Notice if you start to sag in the middle, pull in through the belly button, so you've got lots of extension in your fingertips and in the toes. And you can always keep it down low or even keep it bent if that's better for you. Otherwise, extending through the fingers, extending through the toes. Take a breath in. As you exhale, release that hand and knee down to the ground. Extend the left arm forward, right leg goes back. And again, notice the core, pull in through the stomach, and then use the right arm to press away from the floor. And just notice the strength that it takes in that right arm to help keep you balanced. You may find lots of wiggling around, and that's okay. Breathing in and out through the nose, finding your balance there. Deep breath in, and a deep exhale. Release that hand and knee back down to the ground. Walk your wrist forward an inch or two and begin to circle yourself around. If circling doesn't feel good, you can go forward and back. You can make these circles big or small. You're in control of this. You can let the head circle or stay still. Whatever feels good for you. Breathing in and out through the nose. Warming up through the wrists and the shoulders, the knees and the hips, getting that circular movement in the joints. Circle the other way. Make a little space in the joints for the synovial fluid to come in. Getting rid of some of that stiffness. Letting those joints be a little more fluid. And pause back in the center. Walk your wrist back so that they're underneath your shoulders. Curl your toes and lift your hips up into downward facing dog. You can pedal the knees back and forth, letting one heel sink down and then the other. Breathing in and out through the nose. Deep breath in. And a deep exhale. And bend your knees a little bit and press your chest towards your toes, nice and long through the spine. Deep breath in. And a deep exhale. Again, deep breath in. And a deep exhale. And walk your hands back to your feet. Ragdolling at the back of the mat. You can grab opposite biceps if it feels good and maybe sway side to side. Use your breath to find some length. Deep breath in. And a deep exhale. Letting go of some of the tension. Finding some length toward the floor. Then release. Inhale, half lift, flatten out your back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift, flatten out the back. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Wrap your arms all the way around you. Maybe you press the palms into the calves, or you can grab your forearms or your elbows behind you. Just squish yourself together. See if you can get the stomach on the thighs and the chest on the knees. Bending your knees as much as you need to squish yourself together. Take a breath in. A deep exhale. And bring your hands to your legs. Inhale, half lift, flatten the back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhaling all the way up. A long, flat back brings you up. Exhale your hands to heart center. Inhale, reach. Deep breath in. Grabbing onto your left wrist, reach up and over to the right side. Turn and face you for this one, lengthening up and over. Deep breath in, reach up, and then grab the right wrist up and over to the left. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, release your arms down beside you. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, walk your hands all the way back out so that you're all the way forward into plank. You can bring your knees down to the mat right away or stay on your toes, but squeeze your thighs up nice and tight. Drive them up toward the ceiling. Take a breath in and a deep exhale. Bring your knees to the mat. Point your elbows to the back of the room. Go slow. See if you can get your belly and your chest to touch the floor at the same time. Then bring your elbows underneath your shoulders for Sphinx pose. Pressing down through the forearms, lengthen up through the crown of the head. Let your tailbone lengthen down towards your feet. And if you're feeling any more pressure, you can in your low back, you can always walk your elbows more forward. Just finding this position that feels good for you, breathing into the low back. Deep breath in, and a deep exhale. Again, a deep breath in, and a deep exhale. Stack your palms, let your forehead rest on the back of the hands, wiggle your hips, and then just surrender to the floor. Let go. Then press yourself back into Sphinx pose again, finding that place that feels good for your low back. Lengthen the tailbone down, eye gaze down the cheekbones. You could stay here, or if it feels good for you, peel your belly button off the mat, seeing if you can keep your hip points down, but the belly button peels off. So there's a difference in just lifting your butt up in the air. I want your pelvis to go down toward the floor. So we get that strong interconnection of the belly button to the spine, working those deep core muscles. You could keep the hips down, or you could peel them up off the mat, but continue to lengthen the tailbone down. Watch for your butt to stick up in the air. Keep curling the tailbone down. You could stay there or lift the thighs up. Stay there or even press through the tops of the feet, lifting your knees up off the mat. Doesn't matter where you go, just find that place where you can work the deep core muscles. And then go nice and slow and bring your body back down. Belly button comes back to the mat. Lengthen back up through the crown of the head in your Sphinx pose. And then stack your palms, wiggle the hips, and then just surrender to the floor. Let go. Bring your hands underneath your chest. Pull your belly button in, see if you can get it off the mat. Then see if you can lift your belly and chest off the mat at the same time. And press yourself into child's pose. So knees can come forward a little bit, big toes together. Knees are separated, and then push your hips back. And you can use any support you need in between the legs, underneath the knees, both. You could stack something underneath your head, or you could stack your fist and put your forehead there. You could stack your palms, or your forehead. If it rests easily on the mat, you can relax your arms beside you or out in front of you. There's a lot of options for child's pose. You want to find the one that feels the best to you. Letting your whole body just rest, particularly breathing into your low back. Deep breath in. And a deep exhale. Again, a nice deep breath in. And a deep exhale. Just taking a moment to check back in with yourself, noticing your internal weather system. Working to just bring our mind and our body together for this time that we practice yoga, yoking, mind and body, breath and body, connecting ourselves. Taking this time to check in just for us. And gently round yourself up, bringing your legs out in front of you. We'll make our way down onto the floor. Use the sides of your legs to help you roll yourself down, laying your spine down on the mat, nice and easy, letting your back rest down on the ground. And extend your legs out long for your final Shavasana. If it's not comfortable to have your legs completely flat, you could put a pillow underneath them, or you can always bend your knees. Sometimes it's nice to walk the feet wide and let the knees knock together. So just some options. Let your shoulders tuck under and your palms face up. And then let your eyes fall shut. If that's comfortable, or gaze down the cheekbones. You could always put something underneath your head. You can lengthen the tailbone down towards your feet to create a little more space in the low back. You find something that feels good for you so that you can let the muscles just rest. Taking in all the benefits of your movements, of your efforts. Drawing your attention up to your forehead. See if you can relax any of the tension that you may feel at the forehead. Letting that just melt away. Maybe noticing the space between your eyes, seeing if you can let that tension melt away. Let your eyes rest in their sockets. Your tongue relax back into your throat. Letting the hips rest. Letting the feet fall open from the hips. And just resting completely in Shavasana. Take a deep breath in. A deep exhale. And gently begin to wiggle your toes and fingers. Maybe moving your head from side to side. And bringing some awareness to your body, but just stay soft in your body. And bring your knees in towards your chest. And you can gently roll over onto your side, pausing in the fetal position for a moment. And you can use your top hand to press yourself off the mat. Coming up to a seated position with your hands at heart center. Let your head bow to your heart. Just take a moment to pause. Check in and notice how you feel right now. And what's your internal weather system like? Maybe connecting back to your intention, to the affirmation that you started with. And bring your thumbs to your brow, giving gratitude to yourself for practicing today. And bring your hands back to heart center. Thank you for sharing this time with me today. I hope that you feel the benefits of your yoga practice. I'll close with the word namaste, meaning the love and light in me honors and sees the love and light in you. Namaste.